Hello and welcome to the in-depth series section of Drishti IAS. I am Aisha Singh, and in today's episode we will be discussing topic that a recent report has been published by the UNFPA, and the name of the report is India Aging Report 2023. It talks about that how the population of India is aging and what are the different criteria and characteristics among the different states of India. So first of all, about the timeline, first we'll be looking at the news, then what are the findings of the report, then why it is considered that over 40% of the elderly population is considered poor, higher life expectancy, inherently gendered, what is the difference between the elderly population with respect to male and females, then what can be done for elderly people. In the end, prelims MCQ. Topic is of relevance from General Studies paper 1, that is society, population, portion. Then from exam perspective, you should be able to know about the higher life expectancy and how the population of India is aging and what can be done for the elderly people. So the news talks about India aging elderly to make up 20% of population by 2050. This is what the UNFPA report is saying, that with the time and around the year 2050, majority of the people, when we talk about the young population between the age group of 0 to 15, and then we talk about the elderly population, that is 60 plus, between the young population and the elderly population will be more. And it says that elderly to make up 20% of population by 2050. So let's see what is happening. According to the UNFPA, that is United Nations Population Fund India, which in collaboration with the IIPS, which is International Institute for Population Sciences, so UNFPA plus IIPS, so they both in collaboration with each other has taken out the aging report of India 2023, and the report has unveiled the highly anticipated India Aging Report 2023, and it sheds light on the challenges, opportunities and institutional responses surrounding elderly care in India. First, it will tell you about that how the population of India is aging, and with respect to the people of 60 plus years, what will be their numbers till the time India reaches 2050. And then what are the challenges for them, then why the population in senior citizen group, the population of women is considered to be more as compared to the population of men. Then India navigates a demographic shift towards an aging population, and this is the point which we will be discussing in today's episode in detail, that with coming time and with the time of the year 2050, India will be seeing a demographic shift, and as of now India is considered to be a young country because the majority of the population is under the young working group. So with the time, India will be seeing a demographic shift towards an aging population. So how is it? We'll be looking first what the report is saying, what are the findings of the report. So first of all, it says that the decadal growth rate. Now what is the meaning of the decadal growth rate? Decade means 10 years time period. So it is talking about the growth rate with respect to 10 years, that after every 10 years what is the growth rate which is happening. So the decadal growth rate of the elderly population of India is currently estimated to be at 41%. It means after every 10 years, around 41% of the population is estimated that it is growing at a percentage of 41, and the percentage of elderly population in the country is projected to double to over 20% of total population by 2050. So by the year 2050, it is considered that the elderly population in the country will be growing or is projected to double or to over 20% of total population. So whatever the total population of elderly people is as of now, it will be almost double of it by the year 2050, and decadal it is growing at a rate of 41%, and by 2046 elderly population will surpass the population of children in the country. It means the population of children, that is 0 to 15 years, the children's population or the young people population in India, it will be less and the elderly population will be more. So if we will compare two of it, that is children's population and elderly population by the year 2046, then the elderly population will be more in comparison to the population of the children. Now over 40% poorest, and it is seen that when we talk about the elderly population, that people of the age group of 60 plus, it is seen over many decades that it is considered that the life expectancy of females is more as compared to males. So the generally the life expectancy in India is around 69 to 70 years. But when we talk about the elderly people or the senior citizen people who are above the age of 60, then it is seen that the population of female is considered to be more as compared to male, or the life expectancy in senior citizen or elderly people is more for female as compared to males. So more than 40% of the elderly in India are in poorest wealth quintile. So all the elderly people, when we talk about the complete population of the elderly people, so around 40% of the elderly people are poor, and 18.7% of them is living without an income. So out of this 40% of people who are poor, 18.7% of people, they do not have any income for themselves and they are completely dependent on someone or the other. And people who are aged 80 plus will grow at a rate of around 279% between the time of 2022 and 2050. So between the year 2022 and 2050, the people who are 80 plus years of age, so they are growing at a very rapid pace, and that is around 279%. So the elderly population of 80 plus years will also increase at a very rapid pace. And the predominance of widowed and highly dependent very old women, this population will be very high, of widow women and highly dependent very old women. So this population will be very high. And women had higher life expectancy at the age of 60 and at the age of 80. So if we talk about the age 60 plus to around 80 and 80 plus, the women or the females have higher life expectancy as compared to the males. And the national average differential of only 1.5 years, while the Himachal Pradesh and Kerala has 4 years more. So this means that women as compared to male in the age group 60 plus and 80 plus, they have higher life expectancy. And in this criteria of age group, that is elderly people, the national average is around 1.5 years, while the Himachal Pradesh and Kerala on the other hand has more as compared to the national average, that is 4 years. So the elderly females of Himachal Pradesh and Kerala, they live more as compared to the national average of 1.5. Then higher life expectancy. Now what is it? The life expectancy of women at 60 years is greater than 20 years in states such as Rajasthan, Haryana, Gujarat, Uttarakhand, Kerala, Himachal Pradesh, etc. It means that the females who are living 60 plus, or you can say till the age of 60 to 80, the life expectancy in few states are more as compared to other states. So the states in which the life expectancy of females or the elderly females who are between the age group of 60 to 80, they are more in states like Rajasthan, Haryana, Gujarat, Uttarakhand, Kerala, Himachal Pradesh, etc. And the raising concerns about their social and economic well-being. Now the problem is that already the women workforce or the women workforce job participation is already very low. It is around 20% to 23% in Indian economy. Now when the women participation or women workforce is so low, imagine the situation of the females, if they are widowed and they are dependent on others, that how are they going to survive? So what becomes a matter of concern for them is to see that whether they will be financially viable or they will be able to take care of themselves. So a point which comes here and is of importance is the concerns regarding their social and economic well-being, whether they will be able to do well themselves or not. And the sex ratio among the elderly has been climbing steadily since 1991. So the sex ratio as compared to earlier times is increasing. That is, since the time of 1991, the sex ratio is increasing. And if we talk about central India, then the sex ratio went from 973 in the year 2011 to 1053 in the year 2021. So this is about central India. So the sex ratio of central India has increased tremendously well from 973 to 1053. And then now let's talk about inherently gendered, that how the difference between the female and the male when they will become elderly would happen. So poverty is inherently gendered in old age. Now what happens is that people who do not do well planning at a young age of for their finances, if when they will become old, so those people tend to face more difficulties as compared to other people. And people should also invest in some social security benefits, medical insurances, life insurances, and there are other kind of investments and savings or pension schemes in which people should invest. But the problem lies that if people do not have enough income, then how are they going to invest for their old age, that is at the time of their retirement and above and after that. Now what becomes a problem and a matter of concern is that when people gets retired or when people are in their old ages, that is especially 60 plus years, then the biggest problem is about their finances, about their income, about their earning. So elderly people are most and is very prone to fall into the poverty, and mostly among them are widowed and the people who are living alone. They do not have any income, fewer assets of their own, and they are completely dependent on family for support. Now this becomes a very big problem for the elderly people. And the major challenges that our country is going through as of now with respect to the elderly people, and especially when the elderly females are considered to now have higher life expectancy as compared to the males. So that is the major challenges is, first is feminization and second is ruralization of older population. Ruralization means that when people at a younger age come to urban areas to work, but when they retired, they try to go back to the place where they belong to. And second is the feminization. Now this is in respect of two things, like for example, first you can take that the life expectancy of elderly women is more as compared to elderly men, so especially in the age group of 80 plus. And second, where especially when in the rural areas, females are working in the rural areas at a very high rate. So the major challenges are feminization and ruralization. Then most states in the southern region and select northern states such as Himachal Pradesh and Punjab, so these regions, they have reported a higher share of the elderly population than the national average, and a gap that is expected to widen by 2036. So elderly population share is considered to be more in the southern region and very selected northern regions like Himachal Pradesh and Punjab. So these regions, southern region and Himachal Pradesh and Punjab in northern region, so they have reported a higher share of elderly population. It means that people in these states, they are living at a very high life expectancy rate, and it is considered that the gap would widen by the year 2036. Then Bihar and Uttar Pradesh expect to see an increase in the share of elderly population between 2021 and 2036, as Bihar and Uttar Pradesh are two of the states which has very high fertility rate as compared to other rates, and Uttar Pradesh is the most populous state of India, and Bihar on the other hand is the third most populous state in India. Then if we talk about southern region, then old age dependency ratio was higher than the national average at around 20. So you can say that in the southern region the elderly people are more dependent. That is the dependency ratio. It means the elderly people are more dependent and is higher than the national average, which is around 20. So people of old age are more dependent in the southern region as compared to all other region. So in southern region it is average is around 20, while in western India it is around 17, and union territories it is around 13. So this was about the inherited gendered gap between male and female. Now what can be done for the elderly people so that they do not face problem when they reach a stage when they see retirement and a age group of 60 plus or 80 plus. So first and foremost, social security schemes which are given by the government of India, and also the people themselves can invest in social security schemes. For example, health insurance people can take, life insurance people can take, pension schemes are there. Then there are many other kinds of scheme also in which they need to invest. Then running of elderly self-help groups, so that many elderly people who are alone, they can come together and can create a better ecosystem for the elderly people to live. Then short-term care facilities like crutches or daycare facilities. This will help many of the elderly people who are living alone in their houses and do not know what to do and how to connect with people of their age group. Then these kind of people can also come in the crutch facility and they can gel up with other people of the same age group. Then corporate social responsibility initiatives can also be taken for the elderly people. Even though it has increased, the CSR initiatives for elderly people has increased in the last 5 to 10 years, but this is an area which can be explored more with respect to the CSR responsibility. Then healthcare facilities should be made better and very accessible for the elderly people, and subsidies can also be provided for their well-being and for their treatment, as the elderly people are not very well income generating sector of the economy. So a subsidy or a good healthcare facilities can be provided to them. Now in the end, a prelims MCQ, and people need to tell me the answer in the comment section. I'm giving you an easy one, and these kind of questions are asked. When we do it on daily basis, it is considered to be easy, but when we do it once in an exam, then this becomes difficult. So the India Aging Report 2023 was released by A. UNFPA, that is United Nations Population Fund, B. UNDP, United Nations Development Authority, C. UNEP, United Nations Environment Program, or D. So easy one. So try to give me the answer in the comment section, and that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Till we meet next time, keep reading and keep writing.